Right? The Rambam, in the very first halacha of the second chapter of HILCHOS Tshuva, wants to describe Tshuva Gemura, absolute Tshuva, that this is like the highest form of Tshuva a person can do, right? That after this you can be sure that your sin has been forgiven. And how does he illustrate Tshuva Gemura? A person, God forbid, sinned with a lady, right? He does Tshuva, right? And why is it Tshuva Gemura? Because if, the Ram's not recommending that you should put yourself to test, but if he would find himself alone with this lady, under the exact same circumstances, she's just as pretty, and he's just as infatuated with her, and it's the same night that they did it with the same romantic circumstances. That's what Ram writes. It's the same place, same duplicate conditions, totally. Absolute duplicate conditions, totally, and it's the same passion, and she's just as attractive, and Pirish v'lo asur b'nei tshuva, and he still holds back, and he doesn't do the sin, even though the conditions have been simulated perfectly, right? So even though the conditions have been duplicated perfectly, he doesn't do it purely because he's a Baal Tshuva. Because I'm a Baal Tshuva, I'm not doing it purely because of the Tshuva. He doesn't do it. That's Tshuva Gemura, right? But Ram quickly adds that if a person hasn't reached that level, that if put in the exact same circumstances, right, he would not overcome. And God forbid, if put in the exact same, he would still succumb. The fact that he's sorry also helps. So that, what we just illustrated 2 minutes ago was Tshuva Gemura, the best Tshuva, right? Absolute Tshuva is the more proper way to say it. But of course, any type of Tshuva, says the Rambam, is good, umo elas hilo, and helps him, right? But now, you just have to understand the depth of what Tshuva Gemura means, right? Which is the main topic of that halacha, Tshuva Gemura, that everything is the same, and the only reason why you didn't do it again is because you've done Tshuva. That's absolute Tshuva. The Tshuva is the only reason why you didn't succumb again. That's absolute Tshuva. Right? That despite the fact that all the conditions are exactly the same and the passion is exactly the same, despite the fact you still didn't do it because of Tshuva. So a Talmud of mine once asked me, well, the conditions aren't perfectly the same, right? There's a difference. Before you were not a Baal Tshuva, now you are a Baal Tshuva. So that's a difference, right? It's like he was saying that it's impossible, right, to duplicate the conditions absolutely, because the first time around you were not a person who has done Tshuva, and now you are. Right? So now, of course, this is a question that could be easily deflected in many different ways, right? But I do want to use it as a springboard to get into a certain inner depth of what Tshuva is and why this is Tshuva Gemura. Right? One has to ask another question, right? That amongst the interesting things that the Rambam put into HILCHOS Tshuva, even though seemingly on the surface they didn't have to be there, is his essay on free will. Right? The Rambam's position on that free will is a reality. It's not that we think we have free will. We really do have free will. We really are master of our own actions, right? And all the classical questions that seemingly question free will and what the answer are, the Rambam put all of that in HILCHOS Tshuva. Why is that in HILCHOS Tshuva? Right? Why is it all in HILCHOS Tshuva? Right? What does it have to do with Tshuva? Right? So I heard from my Rebbe, Moshe Shapiro Shlita, right, that the depth of it is like this. Because what is Tshuva? Right? Is what the Rambam is trying to illustrate in this very halacha that we learned together today. We're going to tell you about Tshuva Gemura. What is Tshuva in essence? Right? Tshuva in essence is not to correct what you did wrong necessarily, because a lot of times it's impossible to correct what you did wrong because it happened already. It's in the past, and you can't bring the past back. Right? So the Mesilas Yesharim says, right, that when really dealing with this question, the Mesilas Yesharim says that Tshuva is a big chesed from Hashem, that it works similar to Hataras Nedarim, just like the absolution of vows. Even though you made a vow already, you get out of it, because Akiras Ratzon ka Akiras Maisa. the fact that I no longer want the vow and regret making the vow in the first place, right, uproots the action of making a vow because I don't want it. So uprooting my will from it disassociates me from it, even though it happened already. I made this vow, but the fact that I see retroactively that I never really wanted in the first place, that gets you away from the vow that history says you made. So God says also that's how Tshuva works, right? That's what the Sotram says. And with this Sotram, I heard from another Rebbe of mine, Nachum Lansky, there's the secret that Yom Kippur, Day of Tshuva, opens up with Kol Nidre, the absolution of vows, because they work on the same mechanism, in the words of the Sotram, Akiras Ratzon Ka Akiras Maisa. God in His kindness will view your uprooting, your having wanted it, that you say, I don't want it anymore, and I could say retroactively I would have never wanted it. In retrospect, I see I never really should have wanted it in the first place. Taking away your rotzen from what happened, God will deem that as if you uprooted what happened also. But of course, that latter step, that's as if you uprooted the action also, that's a kindness from God. But what God demands from you is, you once wanted that, you have to change the fact that you wanted it. And that's really changing your free will. And that's the secret that the essays on the issues of free will are in HILCHOS Tshuva, because HILCHOS Tshuva is all about being mitaken your bechira, says my Rebbe Shlita. Right? Tshuva is all about fixing your free will, because you once used the gift of free will to will evil. You have to now fix your capacity of free will, that you should only use it for the good. And that's what Tshuva is. Right? That's what Tshuva is. Tshuva is changing the power of free will. Of course there's a change. Of course the conditions aren't perfectly simulated, because before you used to use the gift of free will for evil, but now you're using the gift of the free will for good. Of course, that's the difference. Before you were not a Baal Tshuva, i.e. you're using your free will for evil. Now you are a Baal Tshuva, and the meaning of being a Baal Tshuva is, I have now restored my free will. I brought it back. I brought back my free will. I now bring it back to only being aligned with doing the good. I use the power of free will to choose good, not to choose bad. That's what needs to change. But that's the thing that needs to change. Right? What needs to change in Tshuva is your power of free will, your power to make choices is what needs to change. Right? So of course there's a difference. Beforehand you hadn't done Tshuva, now you're doing Tshuva. But it has to be that the only difference is that I fixed my power of free will. Right? But if the reason why he doesn't, do the sin again with the ladies because now she's fat and ugly, so it could be that his free will is still geared towards evil, right? But he's not doing the sin with her because she's not attractive, right? Or if the circumstances aren't the same, so it could still be that his free will is still geared towards evil, right? And the only reason why he's not doing the sin is because the romantic circumstances are missing, right? So that's not real tshuva. Of course, as Ram hastily adds, any type of being better is good, right? Any type of being a better person is good. But real tshuva is that what's different is my power of free will is what's different. I've elevated my power of free will. That I use my free will for evil. Now I use it for good. That's the core of what tshuva is about. And absolute tshuva is that is what changed. It's not that circumstances change, because circumstances change. Could be your free will is just as corrupt that it was, just you don't have the same opportunities. It has to be that, even if you would have the same opportunities, you still don't do it. That proves that you have changed your free will. You've been mitaken your free will, and that's what tshuva is all about, being mitaken your free will.